This is the brand new collab between Lancer Tactical and Airtac Customs. It's £250, it's a Gen 3 M4, but is it any good? Well, this is a speedy boy gun after all, so we're going to do a speedy review of it.
You serious?
Let's get into it. So as you can see, this thing comes in multiple colors. I believe we've got 6 colors in stock right now at BZ. Purple is a personal favorite. Also comes in black and matte black. And I've also got a lovely red one inside of this box as well to show you off. But before we look at all the colors, let's get into some of the main features of it. So what you might be asking for yourself here is, why would someone buy this? Who is this for? What type of player is this for? Well, this is £250, it's an AG, not HP as you'd expect with a Speedsoft gun. So a £250 Speedy Boy AG, who is it for? Well, I can see this being for 2 types of players. One is someone who's brand new to the world of CQB and Speedsofts. Someone who wants a Speedsoft style gun to play indoor airsoft with, but doesn't want to break the bank. They want to dip their toe into that world without breaking the bank too much, but they still want that Speedy Boy look of a gun. At 250 quid, this is a solid option. The other type of player who would want to buy one of these is a Speedsofter who's going to buy this purely because of the look, purely because of the outer shell of it, purely because it comes with Airtac custom parts as standard, and then they're going to completely rip out the internals of this thing and put HP engine and an improved gear set and all that kind of stuff into it. We're going to go through the internals in a minute, and I think Lancer Tactical have designed their internals with that in mind, with the fact that they know people are going to rip this thing apart. But it is still a solid option out of the box for someone who's wanting to dip their toe into the world of CQB and Speedsoft. So let's take a closer look at it. So we'll use the black one for reference. So 250 quid. This is a Gen 3 Lancer Tactical gun. It's got the same Gen 3 polymer body that you expect on any of their rifles. So the lower part of the gun and the internals is exactly the same as what you'd expect from any Gen 3 Lancer, which is a kind of a budget-friendly gun. We're not going to try and escape that. It is a budget gun. It's got some budget internals in it. We'll talk about why in a second. But the main selling points of this thing visually are the magazine and the 2 parts here from Airtac Custom. So up the top here, we've got, I believe this is an exclusive design just for this gun. It's an Airtac Customs carbon fiber upper receiver. Now, if you don't know, Airtac Custom specialise in HPA/Speedsoft accessories like carbon fiber uppers. They do gearboxes, they do HPA adapters, they do all sorts of stuff. They're a pretty big name in the world of Speedsoft, especially in the US. They've designed this as like a budget-friendly option for beginner Speedsofters/CQB players. Now, a standard carbon fiber Airtac M4 upper like this alone retails for $100 to $150. So the fact that you get one and it's an exclusive cut specifically for this gun, and you get it for a £250 price tag, considering that 100 quid of that is just on this upper, I don't think that's bad at all. So comparing it to buying a cheap Lancer Gen 3 gun and then adding your own Speedsofty externals onto it, this is a much cheaper option. I think they've done a really good job on it. I will say the carbon fiber finish, I think it looks really good on the black models, but I think on some of the colors, it doesn't quite look right. I think the purple is one of the better colors, but there's a couple of colors in the range where I personally look at the finish on the carbon fiber uppers and I'm not thrilled about it. It would spoil me picking that color because of the way that the carbon fiber is finished on the barrel. I'll also show you in red. I've actually got this one in a box so you can see what you get included in the box. On the box there, you'll see you get a 2-year warranty included with these guns, which is pretty good. Most manufacturers only offer you 1 year, but remember, if you do rip these apart and put HP engines and change any of the internals, you do void that warranty. So it's only really useful for beginner players who aren't going to touch the internals of this. So yeah, I think the purple on this looks a lot better than the red personally. Do let me know what you think in the comments if you've got a favorite color. I know this thing comes in blue, it comes in gold. I think it also is available in orange, but we weren't able to get that. Black, matte black, purple and red. Let us know your favorite color in the comments, please. Also, the other part from Airtac, so you've got the, actually let's speak more about the upper receiver. So you've got the upper receiver here. As you'll see, there's a little cutout window there for the rotary hop unit. This doesn't look the best. They've definitely done better looking cuts, like more skeletonized cuts on the upper receivers for the ones, but those cost $150. This is part of a 250 quid gun. So for what it is, it's purely functional. I don't think it looks the best, the cutout, but it is very functional. And actually, when I give a test shot of this gun before we started filming, this was so handy. You can obviously, as you're firing, you've got the rotary hop right there. This is like where most people's hands would sit when they're firing. The rotary hop's just there, so you can literally fire off this gun and just adjust the hop as you're firing and see your shots improve over time. So to hop this thing is an absolute dream. It takes 10 seconds to get this thing shooting absolutely bang on. Obviously, it's only going to be able to shoot so well with it being a 250 quid gun. It didn't hit the back of this 45 meter target range that I've got right here, but it was shooting pretty far, and it has a lot of oomph to it. I'll show you that in a second when we put the magazine in there. It's got a very satisfying shot to it, a surprisingly satisfying shot to it actually, but it doesn't win any points for appearances, but for functionality, this thing is great. And I think this is what the Lance Tactical Airtac M4 is all about. It's about functionality. It's about making the best Speedsoft rifle possible for that beginner budget. It's 250 quid. It's got a rotary hop with a window for it. It's super easy to adjust. That is a great feature. It might not look the best, but for 250 quid, what do you want? The other great feature on this, the other thing from Airtac, actually before we get into that, I'll talk more about the upper because I didn't mention this. It's got 2 sets of sights on it, but with different colors as well. You've got your back sight is like a reddy orangey color, and your front sight is a green color. I like that a lot, helps you differentiate between the two as you're aiming. And it's got this tiny bit of Picatinny on there for mounting a red dot. You can't do much else with it. I know this was a criticism from other people that you can't mount like a camera on the bottom or a flashlight or anything like that. But Airtac do sell some accessories for that. You can get like a Picatinny mount that just goes right around the barrel there, and it sits on the bottom, so you can attach a camera or a flashlight or whatever. And I do believe that the HK Army barrel camera mounts would fit this. They are designed for paintball markers, so I believe they would fit this as well. So if you want to attach a GoPro straight on your gun, that is an option. We do have them in stock here at BZ. Also, let's move, we're done talking about the upper now. Let's move on to the other thing that's from Airtac. So this is another exclusive on this gun. It's this drop stock at the back here, adjustable drop stock. As you can see here on the purple gun, I've actually dropped the stock already, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to drop the stock on the black edition. So I really like this personally. Obviously a drop stock is a very common, if I can get my bloody Allen key in there. There we go, I was turning the wrong way. Drop stock is a very common upgrade with Speedsofters, and I have to say, I can see why. I've never really been a drop stock guy, but if I just drop that stock and then tighten it back up, so they don't include the Allen key in the box, which I find a bit confusing. I don't know why you wouldn't just include an Allen key. So make sure you've got an Allen key set, or go get yourself to IKEA and buy some furniture, and you should have an Allen key that fit this. Just tighten this back up, do it a bit quicker than I just did it, and then got your drop stock and you can hold it better. Personally, it's all down to personal preference of what you find comfy. I much prefer this. If I was to buy one of these, this is how I'd run it. It's not something I'd usually do. I've never used a drop stock before, but I can see why people do, because this just sits so comfortably on here, right above the price sticker that I've got stuck on my fleece. Don't judge the drip, guys, it's November in the UK. But it sits nicely against my chest. I don't know if that's just because I've got a bit more meat on my bones than most people, but it kind of presses against my chest, and it's more comfortable than when it presses against my shoulder. That might just be a personal thing, but I personally really like this. I like that it's included out of the box. Again, that's a pretty premium upgrade that you're going to spend a little bit on to get that on your gun. So the fact that that comes out the box along with the carbon upper, I think that all adds up. That is a much cheaper option compared to buying a cheap M4 and then upgrading it yourself. So I do really like that. Now, moving away from the Airtac stuff, because that's the expensive, impressive stuff. The rest of the gun is a Lance Tactical Gen 3. It is what it is. It's good for the price. It's not going to blow anyone away. It's not got the best internals in the world. It does have a Nebula MOSFET in there from the Zion Arms range. So this does actually come with a MOSFET included, installed for 250 quid. Not bad at all. It's a pretty basic MOSFET. All you can really do for it is adjust the trigger sensitivity and do stuff like binary fire on there. So it's you're not going to be able to completely transform your gun with this thing, but the fact that it's there, it's an option. It gives you a bit more customability. I think that's pretty good, especially for the price tag. But then we look at the rest of the internals. It's got an 18-1 gear set. It doesn't have a brushless motor, but what are you going to expect for 250 quid? So the internals aren't great. It could be a lot more snappier, but I think, as I said earlier, that Lance Tactical have kind of done this on purpose. They want to keep that price tag low. They want to make sure that it's not going to outprice beginner players. And for beginners, this is going to shoot nice. This isn't going to ruin your experience of going to CQB. You're going to be able to shoot a decent quality with this thing. It does actually shoot pretty straight. It's not got the most range, but for CQB players, it's not really a big issue. And also, this is kind of designed for gutting out. Unless you're a beginner player and you don't want to touch it and you just want something cheap and you just want to get out and start playing and dip your feet in. If you're a Speedsofter, you're going to buy this and you're immediately going to rip everything out of it anyway. So why bother putting those high-end internals in when you know people are just going to upgrade them anyway? May as well go for something cheap but will do the job, which is what Lancer have done. So yeah, on paper, it might not be the best spec sheet, but when you look at what the purpose of it is and why they've done it, I think it makes complete sense. And I think at 250 quid, this is about the right price. We had someone actually message us last night on Instagram. I'm actually going to take these off while I'm not shooting anything. There's no mags or batteries in there. So we had someone message last night and was like, I really like the look of this, but would you pick it over like a KWA E4? And I said, unless you're looking for this type of gun, this style of gun, then I wouldn't pick it. If you're looking for something that's going to perform well out of the box, you can use it indoor and outdoor. You're looking for something with good internals, the KWA E4 is going to be a better option. There are better options for performance out there at around £250 price mark. This, however, there's not much else like it at this price mark for this look with the functionality with CQB in mind. The closest thing you can compare this to is a G&G SSG-1, which is about £100 more, and they're quite hard to get hold of, and they're not exactly the most well-liked things on the market. So I think for an alternative, there's not much else out there on the market, so an alternative to the SSG-1, I think this is a solid option. If you're looking to do CQB, this is it. If you're going to play outdoors, you want a hybrid gun, this is not it whatsoever. I wouldn't recommend it. I will put a note on this. In the US, these come with 2 springs, a high power spring and a low power spring, so you can swap between indoor and outdoor. That isn't the case here in the UK. We only get the low powered spring because we have lower dual limits compared to the US, so don't think you're getting 2 springs out of the box. In fact, if you look in the box, all you get is the rifle, a nice little patch, and a magazine. That's all you're getting out of the box with this gun. So there's not too much else. Oh, you've also got yourself a patch and the information on your Nebula MOSFET in there. But saying that, for what you do get, I think you do get a lot for your money for 250 quid. I like that they have tracer units in mind with this. You don't get a thread cap on there. You can buy one pretty cheap if you want to do it, but I'd say most people are going to run this thing with a tracer unit. So I like the fact that it's really accessible, really easy to screw one right on there. Again, I really love the rotary hop. That is one of my favorite things about this gun. I also really like the magazine that you get included. This is a Lance Tactical 140 round magazine. It has an ammo window there. It's a speed magazine, so it's designed for feeding as fast as it possibly can. It's not going to be as good as, say, like an Amarok magazine or a PTS EPM1, but for the price and for what you get included in the box, this is definitely a better option than a lot of other guns on the market. Personally, if I was going to run one, I'd probably go for this purple color, and I'd actually stick an Amarok 250 purple magazine in there, because I think this looks so good with this gun. It matches the color so well. Goes really well with the new Amethyst Article 1 as well. I'm actually going to put one of the clear mags. You might have seen these in our viral speed loader videos that got picked up by Unilad recently. I think that looks really good on the red edition as well. Bit too long. I don't know if the clear ones are a bit too long for this, but the 250s definitely, I think, sit really well in there, and they color match nicely. Of course, you can get these in black as well if you just want to play in black. But 140 rounds for indoor play. You're probably going to want to upgrade to a 250 round mid cap if you've got the budget. But for 140 rounds out of the box with an ammo window and it's a good quality magazine, nice sturdy polymer, I like it. It's overall, before we start shooting it, this is worth the price tag, I would say. It's to look at it, I'm not going to tell you it's the best looking thing in the world, but that's all down to personal taste. But for functionality and for who it's designed for, they've actually got this bang on. I really like the fact that Lance Tactical seem to be doing more collabs. We've got this with collab with the Airtac guys. We've just got a load of rifles in that were a collab with BG Defense, a real firearms company. Obviously, we had the Valiant collab that we did a review of a few months ago. We've actually just got that back in stock for the first time since, I believe, June was when we last got these in. So I know a lot of you have been after the Valiant edition. So it's back in stock now, and it's actually an updated version that comes with a suppressor as well. So if you're after a Valiant collab, go get that. I like the fact that Lancer is doing collabs, and I think this is something we should see from them more often, because we're not going to dance around it. Lance Tactical doesn't have the best reputation. There is literally like Reddit forums or something, I think it is, where talking about Airsoft, where the joke is in the biro that Lance Tactical's their favorite brand. It doesn't have that best reputation, and yes, some of the cheaper options, they're not the best build quality, but you get what you paid for. And also here at BZ, we've had products in the past where we've pulled them from sale because they've been causing too many issues. There's been too many faults. There's entire brands that we've stopped stocking because of that reason. We don't want to sell you something that is just going to cause problems, because it causes problems for you and it causes problems for us, because we need to fix them. We're responsible for the warranty and getting stuff started. If it's too much hassle, we're just going to stop selling them. But there's a reason why we've been selling Lancer Tactical for 6-7 years now, since we opened in 2018. It's because they're not as bad as a lot of people make out, and especially the newer editions, the Gen 3s, the Gen 4s, they're really pretty good for the money. They've really upped their game when it comes to the internals and what you get included in the box. I mean, we were genuinely impressed by the Valiant edition. I do think there are other guns on the market around the same price that are probably better performance-wise, but for what you get included, I really don't think it was bad at all. Same with this, I'm actually quite impressed by it. Again, it's for a certain type of player. There's going to be people watching this who think this is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. I'm warming to it. I didn't like it when I first seen it, but functionality-wise, bang on for what it needs to be, and appearance-wise, it's growing on me, especially if you do a colour match mag like I've done with the ammo out there. But let's stop talking. I'm going to put my iPro back on. That is no doubt going to fog up again, because I've got this very poorly chosen winter fleece on, and it's far too warm. But I've got 140 BBs in there, and I've got my battery inside the black edition. I forgot to mention, this actually can take an 11.1 volt battery out of the box, so that is a really good point. You're going to need to upgrade the gear set. You're probably going to need to upgrade the trigger if you really wanted this to get competition level. I do have one gripe with this. Lancer have been advertising this as a competition gun. Get ready for competition with this thing. This is not a competition gun. Do not buy this gun if you think this is going to be a competition ready gun that you can pick up out of the box and start playing with. This is not that at all. This is for your beginners who are just starting out at CQB, someone who just wants the cheap gun that'll get them going, is easy to use. That's the thing, it's really easy to use. You put a battery in it, put some BBs in it, hops right there where your thumb will be, just start shooting and start playing. Lots of fun. This is not competition ready. You will need to spend a lot of money to get this thing up to competition standards. So do not buy that if you think that's what's going to happen, because it's not. You will need to HB, etc., etc. But keep that in mind. Let's start shooting it. So this thing is quite snappy. I'm going to put this on semi-auto and just give you a few shots. So Luke is going to show you me actually firing it, and then he's going to show you shooting down range. So this is one other negative of this gun. If you can get a bit close on the trigger here, Luca, I'm going to show you how far back I need to pull this trigger to get a shot. Bearing in mind this is a CQB gun. That thing, that's maybe nearing like a centimetre trigger pull. Yes, you do have the Nebula MOSFET in there, so I think you could adjust this with a bit of adjusting on the MOSFET, but that isn't the most responsive trigger pull. For a CQB gun, that's not really the best. I think they should have spent a bit more money getting it to that point, but I know why they kept the cost low. I would actually really like to see them do like a really upgraded version of this. I know that Lance Tactical keep their prices pretty down, and not many people are going to pay 400-500 quid for a Lancer gun. But I think if they just did a really limited run with Airtac, where they filled this thing with Airtac parts and really got it up to a high standard where even if they kept it in AG and then all you had to do really was put a HP engine in it, I think that would be really interesting. I think it'd be a nice like testing of the waters to see if they could do more high-end guns, even if it's just the collabs. I think the collabs are the way to go, but I'd love to see it. I don't think they'll do it, but if they could do a one-off in just like one color, in just standard black, a one-off upgraded version of this with Airtac, with more parts in, I'd really love to see it. If you're watching this, Lancer, please do that. I probably is picking up on camera, but my iPro is so fogged up right now, but I should still be able to see. Again, I really like the drop stock. It's really comfy to fit. Now, despite the fact that it is got like doesn't have the best trigger pull, it's actually really satisfying to shoot. It's pretty loud. It's got a nice, it's satisfying. It is one of the more satisfying, cheaper AEGs I've ever shot. It doesn't have recoil obviously, but you can feel it all the way down to the stock. So with every shot, you're really feeling it against yourself. It's nice, I really like it. We will do a little full auto firing, but obviously you wouldn't be doing this full auto. You wouldn't be doing that full auto in the building, no full auto in the building. But even with me fogged up iPro, I just hit that target absolutely bang on. I can't even see and I'm hitting that target bang on. So with that hop, with that adjustable hop, where I could just adjust it as I fired so easily, it's actually quite accurate. Again, you're not gonna get a ton of range out of it. It wouldn't be competition standard, but for what it is, for what for what the internals that are in it, and for the price tag, I'm actually quite impressed at how well this shoots. I'm actually gonna just change my iPro a second, just because it's fogging up so bad, but then Luke is gonna show you actually firing down the range. Let's try some Mechanics iPro here. So hopefully this won't be too bad. Again, I don't have any prescriptions on, and I have not got an optic on this thing, but just to show you a little. So I'm switching my aim between the green and red targets, and every single shot it is hitting, and I can go on the metal target. So I'm using the sights that are included. I don't even need to put a red dot on this thing. You might want to if you're actually running CQB, but in a range environment, that's the test. If I can hit that target every single time without my prescriptions on, that's a good sign, especially at 250 quid, especially when every single pair of iPro I'm putting on is fogging up because I've chose the completely wrong outfit for the day. But I'm actually really impressed by the firing on this thing. Overall, 250 quid. If you're looking for a hybrid gun, you can take indoor and outdoor. This isn't it. Get yourself a KWA E4, get yourself a Raven or series gun. But if you're looking for a way of getting into the world of CQB, I'm actually really impressed by this thing. More so than I was expecting. I was expecting to be a bit more harsh on this thing. Yes, I don't really like the trigger pull on it. Yes, some of the finishes on the carbon fiber barrel, etc. It's not the best looking thing, but functionality wise, I actually really like it. And as I say, if you just wanted to buy a shell with a drop stock and a carbon fiber upper and you're gonna completely rip out the internals, this is probably the cheapest thing on the market right now for that type of player. I could be wrong, there could be something else out there that I'm not aware of. If that is the case, do let me know in the comments. And while you're there, let me know what you think of the Lance Tactical Airtac Gen 3 M4. What do you think of this collab, guys? Did they knock it out of the park, or would you have liked to see something else? Would you like to see a more upgraded version? And also, I am asking you to comment about 3 things here, but who would you like to see Lancer collab with next? They've done a collab with Eddie Valiant, so they're open to do it with creators and YouTubers. They've done a collab with real firearms companies like BG, and they've also done a collab with Airtac, which is a HPA parts company. So they're pretty open to collabing with people from across the spectrum of airsoft and firearms. So who should they collab with next? And obviously is BZ. The answer is BZ, but pick someone other than us. This is a bit of a different style of video. It is literally just one take, me rambling on. It's definitely gone on about twice as long as I was expecting it to, so apologies for that. But if you like this style of video, please do let us know that as well, because if you do, we might start doing these more often. But all that's left to say now is remember to like this video, subscribe to BZ Tactical if you haven't already for more airsoft content. Shop online at bztactical.co.uk or right here in our Teesside store in North East England. Again, 250 quid available now at bztactical.co.uk. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.